Never fails. I start to record and the neighborhood dogs start to go wild. The question is whether or not George is going to go wild as well. Although that's not exactly going wild. We are playing Bayern Munich today. It is our first Champions League first knockout game in a long, long time. We are out of the Copa del Rey, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. The board wanted us to get to the fifth round. We got to the fifth round. How we left, though, is really kind of annoying. My name's FM20. It's time to get real. So we played Almeria last episode and we won 3-1. We turned around and played Leganes at home and we beat them 2-1. Matasevic, a penalty kick, Maria goal. Then we turned around and played them literally 3 days later at Leganes in the Copa del Rey and they beat us 2-0. This was just one of those games. We could not get anything done. The guys were tired. You could tell they were tired. We had 4 freaking yellow cards. Leganes played their A game. And it shows because they had a bunch of players with 7.0s or better. I think our best rating was a 6.8. A 6.9, I take that back. Seferovic had a 6.9. So we turned around, we beat Valencia 3-0 thanks to goals by Sutter, Matasevic, and Resnicek. And then we drew at Sevilla 3-0, or 3-all rather, thanks to an extra time goal by Jeremy Sutter in the 91st minute. This was a gift from the FM gods. I will be the first to admit that. Especially after they came back and scored 2 goals after we did in the 52nd and 77th minutes. They lost Martinetto, and we couldn't really capitalize on it. We had a couple players had some solid games. Sutter's fitting in nicely at the advancing midfielder on the left. I think the game saw we were really low on the number of yellow cards we have for the season so far, and is doing its level best to try and get us back up to where we have been in the past. And what do I mean by that? This is what I mean. 25 games into the season, we have 36 yellow cards and 56 points. We're 20 points. We're 20 cards behind the points total. So that's after we got, what was it, 6 or 7 in one game, I want to say. I could be wrong there. In the league, our 61 goals scored, our first best. Our 26 goals allowed, our 7th best. 36 yellow cards, our 13th highest. Our attendance is, we're packing out the stadium. And I still haven't heard anything on the stadium at High-End. I know the chairman is eager to get it built, but every time it's cropped up the past couple of seasons, it's been to be decided, to be decided, to be decided. Jeremy Sutter currently leads us with 22 goals. Donnie Alonso, 7.52 rating. Alonso and Resnicek, each with 13 assists. Barnabashvili, a 90% pass completion rating. Sutter, the most player of the match awards. Barnabashvili, 10 yellow cards. He's got so many yellow cards, he's actually missing this first match, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but Joubert's missing it too, because he had too many yellow cards. So we've got Bayern Munich coming up. We are away today. I'm going to double check my best 11, set the reserves, and we're going to come back with that match in just a bit. Well, it's not a makeshift back line, but it is not our best back line. It's what happens when you get too many yellow cards. We're playing our 4-2-4, of course. Seferovic in goal. Heidenfelder, Sirac, Benvenuti, and Fernandez as the starting back four, rather. Christian and Alonso as the midfielders. Sutter and Resnicek as the attacking midfielders. Matasevic and Maria up top as the strikers. Paulino, Cuenca, Barrow, Nubel. He's not a regen. He's also not bad. Is he one of their youth goalies that they've kept? No, they've paid Schalke for him. Okay. In real life, they have Christian Fruchtel, who's supposed to be a really good youngster. But the past couple of seasons in successive FMs, his potential's gone down. But, you got Manuel Neuer starting goal. You're not going to get any playing time anytime soon. Oh, they got Phil Foden. I totally missed that. Kickoff highlight still. Sawanzono driving forward, holds it up outside the box. Paulino's there, but it's knocked away. Resnicek up to Matasevic. He passes it up for Maria. Goes wide, takes the shot, and he puts it past Nubel for the goal. We scored 30 seconds in. Well done, boys. See, this is an FM quirk that kind of drives me up a wall. In the 3D, the ball is pink. In the 2D, it's orange. That's probably a settings thing I've done. Something tells me Newell should have probably had that. Pavard taps up to Barrio to Suonzono, to Foden, back to Pavard. Suonzono, back to Pavard, sends it in, knocked away, but Moses has it top of the box. Drops it off to Foden. In the crowd, Barrio's there. Seferovic, a nice block. Something tells me he probably stuck his hands up just to defend himself. Suonzono, Alonso knocks that away. Resnicek has it. Drives forward. He's got some help. Cuts it. Oh, Paulino dispossesses him, but the ball goes out for a throw-in. Suonzono from outside the box sends it in, and it's headed over the crossbar by Barrow. Knocked away. Alonso's run it down. Oh, bounces his pass off a Bayern player, but Benvenuti gets it. He's going to be dispossessed by Paulino. Up to Seidel. Seferovic, nice save. Sirac just bombs that out of bounds. The instant saw Benvenuti getting covered like that, you knew he was going to get dispossessed. Suonzono sends it in, knocked away. Barrow's going to run that down. Centers it to Foden. To Schute, and the highlight ends. We're doing really well. A little bit over half hour in. Bayern definitely has the edge on us in terms of shots and targets, but... Oh, Seidel got around, and Seferovic, a nice save. Gathers the ball up. What's he going to do with it? Drop it off to Heidenfelder, who's dispossessed by Seidel. Who... Acrobatic save by Seferovic, but it went right to Foden, who had a wide open goal. Lump forward to Paulino. He holds it up, centers it to Foden. Moses, up to Paulino. Seferovic, a very nice save. And that is halftime. We are tied 1-1. Bayern has a definite lead in terms of shots and shots on target. But we're doing well to hold our own. Heidenfelder on the throw into Matasevic. Back to Heidenfelder. Taps back to Matasevic, who's almost dispossessed. Sends it in, knocked away. Paulino has it. Holds it up, takes it outside the box, back in. Moses top the box, and he buries it. I don't really want to see that again. Heidenfelder on the throw-in. Christian back to Heidenfelder. Crosses it in, knocked away, but Resnicek runs it down. Gets it to Alonso. To Resnicek, to Alonso. To Sutter, to Christian. To Sutter. Oh, knocked away, but Fernandez is out on the right, and the highlight ends. Bayern's really pressing hard. Cuenca up to Paulino into space. Crosses it in. Seidel's there, but it's knocked away, and he recovers it. Paulino. Pagano. Back out to Moses. Back to Pagano. His pass is bounced off a Bayern player, but Moses recovers, and he's fouled by Resnicek. Newell rolls it out to Moses. To Foden. Drives forward, top of the box, takes the shot. Seferovic's there, no problem. We are going to make a couple of changes here. Heidenfelder's going to come off. Sirac's going to switch with him. Ale is going to take the defensive center back position. Resnicek is not having the best game either. We are going to get Israel on in place of him. Sutter's having an awful game too. Israel. And he's dispossessed by Meyer. Pagano just bombs it away. Fernandez gets it to Alonso, to Christian. Out towards Sutter. Can he redeem himself here? Oh, Newell, a very nice block. Israel, corner kick in. Knocked away by Moses, but it goes right to Ale. Gets it to Israel in the crowd. He bounces it off a Bayern player for the corner kick. Sutter's down to a 5, and we lose 2-1. Okay, the away goal was nice. question is, what do we do now? Yeah, we're going to play Getafe next, and then come back for Bayern and Villarreal. So, not exactly the best game. Sutter had an absolute horror show of a game. He ended up on a 5-8, but it doesn't say he made any mistakes or anything like that. He just had a really awful game. Seferovic, very nice game between the sticks, but they had 29 shots, 15 on target. The fact they scored 2 is just either really lucky or good defense or a combination of both. So we got Getafe coming up. They are mid-table. Yeah, they're 11th. So solid squad. Got our workout out of us. If we win and Madrid loses, we go to first. But we're in it's a 3-way fight for first place at the moment. So it's still anybody's league. You know, we'll have to wait and see what happens. So we're going to come back for the Getafe game here in just a bit. Well, another slightly rotated side. We got Seferovic in goal, of course. Heidenfelder, Benvenuti, Joubert, and Ali is the defense back four. Augusto and Malo is the midfielders. Harold and Resnicek is the attacking midfielders. Matasevic and Maria up top as the strikers. So we're looking for a quality match today with no injuries. Heidenfelder on the throw-in. Matasevic back to Heidenfelder. Augusto to Malo. Back to Augusto. To Malo. He sends it out to Ali all alone on the right. He centers it in. Matasevic's there and he scores. Very nice goal. His 15th of the season. TSG Hoffenheim beat Barcelona in their first Champions League match. And that's after Hoffenheim went down a man after the 77th minute. I'm not going to say that was a desperation header by Matasevic, but that's certainly what the graphics made it look like. Corner kick in, Augusto. Knocked away. Aguirre just bombs it forward to Rodriguez, who got behind the defender. Got by the defender, and right at Seferovic. Well, told the guys to concentrate. Half of them are fired up, half of them are anxious and furious. So, you know, par for the course. Ali to Maria on the throw-in. To Malo. To Augusto. Back to Malo. It's dispossessed by Piscina, but it goes right back to Augusto. Matasevic ends up with the ball. Harold back to Matasevic. Heidenfelder runs down that ball. He's going to cross it in to Harold. Sends it to Malo, who takes a shot. Wow. I don't know that he's had a goal this season from inside the box, to be honest with you. If it has, it's been really close. That's his 5th of the season, and I swear they're all from just the edge of the box. Nice job by Heidenfelder stopping the ball from going out. Sets up like he's going to cross. Harold gets it right to Malo, who probably stepped in front of Augusto, but a very fine strike. And a nice assist for Harold. Cusarella for Getafe on the throw-in to Rodriguez. Back to Cusarella. Crosses it in. Aguirre has it. Rodriguez to Hozek. Off the crossbar. Heidenfelder looked like he was going to try and save it, but he ended up knocking it into the goal. Okay, I can't blame him for that. Unless he looks like an absolute idiot on this part. Here, let's see. Crossed in, headed off the crossbar. Yeah, Heidenfelder just ran into it and it went into the goal. Can't blame him for that. I could, but why? Good grief, 3 yellow cards. Perez to Lozek. Ambelard to Jean-Lucas, to Samardzic, back to Lucas, to Rodriguez. Almost loses the ball. Instead, he takes a shot and skies it over the goal. Heidenfelder to Augusto, to Malo, taps up to Harold, who's dispossessed. Aguirre has it. And somebody's fouled. Piscina to Lucas. Back to Piscina, to Rodriguez, up to Samardzic. Cuts for the defenders, but his shot's right at Seferovic. Ball's lost. Oh, Samardzic loses it to Augusto. Benvenuti. Over to Joubert. Up to Malo. Long pass to Matasevic. Out between the defenders. Takes the shot, but it's right at Perez. Nice pass by Malo, though. About 61 minutes in, we'll make a couple of changes here. The problem is, I can take Christian off and Benvenuti off and bring on Hoffman. I can take Joubert off, bring on Christian. Bring Hoffman off. Bring Benvenuti off, bring on Hoffman. And we'll bring Fabian on in place of Augusto. Triple sub at 60 minutes. It's not exactly dangerous, but still. Perez. To Duello. To Amblard. All the way back to Perez. Perez sends it forward. Right to Heidenfelder. He gets it to Harold. Back to Heidenfelder. To Hoffman. To Heidenfelder. To Hoffman. To Heidenfelder. Over to Fabian. Oh, Heidenfelder's pass was errant. Piscina ends up with the ball, but he's dispossessed by Fabian, who drives forward, passes it up for Maria one-on-one with the keeper, and he shoots it right at Perez. Cusarella runs the ball down, and the highlight ends. Perez to Rodriguez, but Maria somehow ends up with the ball after the number 21 player, who I don't know, Reznicek, got in the way. Reznicek ends up with the ball to Harold, who loses it, goes right to Heidenfelder, who gets it to Matasevic, to Harold. Oh, he was going to try and feed Maria, but his pass was errant. Went right to Perez. Reznicek ends up directing the ball to Ale, who centers it to Fabian. Out towards Reznicek, gets by the one defender. He's got help. Crosses it. Harold's there, and he scores. His second of the season. That's Reznicek's 14th assist, I want to say. He's close to setting the high-end record. I know that much. Oh, nice first touch past the defender. Harold was left wide open when the defender closed down on the center. Carrera to Duello. Back to Carrera. Malo ends up getting the rebound. He sends it forward to Matasevic. One shots it over to Maria. Oh, almost loses it. Reznicek ends up with the ball. And he hits it right at Perez. Duello. Over to Samarsdik. Up to Rodriguez. Drives forward. Cuts inside. Top of the box. Takes the shot. Seferovic, a nice save. Ale on the throw into Malo. Back to Ale. Centers it in. Maria's there, and it goes in somehow. Oh, they're calling out a Cusarella own goal. Okay, well, let's see what happened there. Malo to Ale. Oh, Maria got a foot on it. It went right to Cusarella, who was sliding, and it hit his foot and went in. Hoffman all the way back to Seferovic. To Christian. Over to Ale. Up to Reznicek. To Maria. He's got one defender to beat, and he's got help. Oh, Harold couldn't get to it in time. He's surrounded by 3 players, though, so no shame in that. And we get a 4-1 win. A couple of own goals, one for either side. Theirs broke up. Our goal broke up the clean sheet on their end. And their own goal gave us a 3-goal lead. Not a bad day at the office, gentlemen. Especially when we're top of La Liga. How did that happen? Malo was stellar. I don't know that we'll be top of the league for long. As a matter of fact, we'll go forward today. Yeah, we've got a game in hand, but that doesn't mean much. So, coming up next, Bayern at home. They've got a lead. Not a huge lead, but a lead nonetheless. We've got the away goal. If we beat them 1-0, we win. So we got a friendly coming up against Lokomotiv. That's just to keep the guys in shape more than anything else. And then play Betis and Celta Vigo offline and come back for Bayern Munich and Villarreal. So a tough loss against Bayern. We had our chances. Not a lot of chances. They had about 4 times as many as we did, but Seferovic did really well. And the first, goals in the first minute are just so deceiving. You think, hey, we scored in the first minute, and then you don't see the goal the rest of the game. It's really kind of annoying. But we kept it close. No one got injured, which was a good thing. And then a nice win against Getafe. They're a solid squad, but couple of mistakes, one on our side, one on theirs, led to goals, and still a solid win. How many assists does Resnicek have now? He's got 14 on the season. So, and Alonso's not too far behind with 13. So, what we're going to do is save the game, and then I'm going to play the next few games offline, and we're going to be back with Bayern Munich and Villarreal. So, couple of solid games. Even the loss was solid. We didn't lose by big. No one got injured. And frankly, as many shots as they had, as many on target they had, the fact they only got 2 is a testament to our defense. I only wish our offense was just as solid. Sutter had an awful game that game, and everyone else just couldn't put it together. But we'll get them on the home turf, well, the almost home turf. So that's it. If you did like what you've seen and heard, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more content. Questions, criticism, comments, leave those down below. I will answer those as fast as I can. I am FM20.